It's your girl Linda with the Life of a Fisherman Wife, with the guy she always does it with, her Fishin Ed.
Can you say road trip? What's up, guys?
Yeah, we decided to do a road trip for Christmas, and we're going to tell you a little story about this road trip.
She gonna tell you a little story.
We gonna tell you, because you know if I'm wrong, he gonna correct me.
Oh, okay. That works.
Okay. So, there was a night before Christmas. The fisherman's wife and Fishin Ed decided to take a little trip. The fishing wife did not want to go in Fishin Ed's avalanche because we was having little problems out of his truck beforehand. So she decided that she wanted to go in her car, her Equinox, because less trouble, less miles, newer vehicle, everything was going to be okay. Get in our car, we started out on the road, and we're having an amazing time. What you putting up fingers for?
We drove 8 hours.
We drove 8 hours. We was 8 hours into the trip. Decided that we was too tired to go on a little bit further, so we decided to get us a room. So we got us a room, spent the night, got up the next morning, and guys, did I kind of mention that we left in blizzard type weather? Yeah, there was a blizzard, but it wasn't as bad as predicted. The snow wasn't falling as bad, and the wind wasn't blowing as bad when we left out. So everything was safe to traveling in.
Yes, we left a little ahead of it.
Yeah, a little ahead and before the really bad drifting snow.
Right.
So that was the purpose. So go back to the story. We got us a room, and it is really cold. Got up the next morning, we started to call up, everything is fine. We got us a little breakfast at the hotel we stayed in. Had an amazing breakfast. The Holiday Inn. Can't tell you what little town it was, because that's the can't remember what time, but it was some part of Kentucky. It was the Holiday Inn. Amazing breakfast. I don't usually like egg whites, but I got egg white omelet, and it was really good. So, we all hunky-dory, all happy, get ready to go. Drove about 20 minutes, and my car started to sound really funny. It started saying power engine low, stability track, all those little lights that you don't want to see on your vehicle. Yeah, they lit up. So we pulled over, and Fishin Ed, being the shade mechanic that he is, he goes, "It sounds like it's not picking up oil." What? No oil? Not picking up oil? So it's cold out. It's like -6. This is weather that they say that is unusual for this time of the year here. So he went under the hood, he checked the oil. There's nothing on the oil stick. Nothing. Guys, yes, before you ask that question, yes, we did have the oil change, and it wasn't due for oil change. Usually I always take my car to the dealership to have it changed, but the last time that I did have it changed, they didn't have the time that I needed for my job to have it changed. So I went to this little side of the road, where I had been going to before with my other car, to get my oil changed. So he went, got some oil, came back, put it in the car, and the car started up. Wasn't acting funny, anything. So we drove about 20 more minutes, and the car started to sound funny. Guys, you know what? I counted a blessing, because each time the car quit, we stopped by a store. The first store that Fishin Ed went to, we went back to the store to get some more oil, just to, make sure that we had enough in the car. There was a lady that was there. She was very nice. I wish I had asked her name. I didn't ask her name, but you know who you are, because we gave you a towel and a t-shirt, so you remember us. She was very nice. She even told us she was going to pray for us. She even told Fishin Ed that because Fishin Ed, when he went in the store, you having car trouble. Your mind is not on helping anybody else, but helping yourself. So there was a little girl that was selling bracelets, and she asked Fishin Ed to buy, a bracelet from her. And he said, I'm having car trouble. I usually don't do this when things like this happen. He said, but you know what? I'm going to buy this bracelet for you. And the lady behind the counter said, you're going to be blessed. When you go put the oil in that car is going to start up, and you're going to keep going. She was correct. We did start it up, and we did get back to the store. But 20 minutes later, it decided it wanted to die again. We stopped at another store. The store was, the name of the town was
Seabreeze, Kentucky.
Seabreeze, Kentucky at what's the name of that store, that gas station?
Idea Market.
Mobile. No, it wasn't Mobile. Marathon Idea Market. That's what the name of it was. And the cashier there, she had Granny on her name tag, and I was like, "Is that your name? Because I want to give you all a shout out." And she said, "Oh no, that's not my name. My name is Carissa." So Miss Carissa, I am giving you a shout out because Miss Carissa went above and beyond her duty. We told her what our problem was, and she said, "Okay, I'm gonna see, can I help you?" We was like, because we was multitasking. We were trying to get up out of there, because we still had 13 hours to drive to Florida, and we wanted to get there.
It's called our insurance company. We're called the Chevy dealership.
Right. So I got on the phone. I called the insurance company for a tow, and I asked them, what was the closest dealership to me, the Chevy dealership, because I didn't know anything about this town. And she gave me the dealership. Guys, I have Geico insurance. I'm giving you all a free shout out. Geico has never let me down. I don't know about you and your experience with Geico. If you had a bad experience, I'm sorry, but every experience I have had with Geico, it has been totally amazing. So I called Geico on the telephone. I was telling them where we was, what everything was going on. The operator on the phone told me, she said, "Where are you? I'll find you a dealership." She found me a dealership. I gave the number to Fishin Ed. He gets on his cell phone. He called the dealership, asking them, "Hey, would you take my car in?" They said yes, but we're not going to touch it until Monday. Okay, fine. So we get off the telephone with them. The only thing is that Geico set up our tow, and I called the tow service because I saw the email saying they won't make it down until 3 p.m. We was at the service station like 9, right? About 9 o'clock. We was there about 9. So we didn't want to stay that long. So Fishin Ed, with the car dealership, they said that they will get us a tow. And, guys, Geico said they'll reimburse us for that tow that we set up to get our car towed to the dealership.
It was $150.
Yes, it's $150 to get our car towed to that dealership. Okay, so now we got the car rental into place, all set up. We had our car set up to be towed. The only thing we had to set up is to get a ride to the car. So the lady, Miss Granny, I'm gonna call her Miss Granny, she said, "Okay, I'll help you all." I said, "Can I find somebody?" Couldn't find anybody. Some gentleman walked into the store, and I'm sorry, I don't remember names. I am not good with names. He walks into the store, and he had on, it looks like what kind of shirt did you think?
Kind of look like a game warden.
Kind of like a game warden shirt. It's right about it. A game warden? It kind of looked like that. That's the symbol that he had on his shirt. And then so she said, "I'm gonna ask this guy right here." And so she asked him, and he left out. He said, "I see what I can do." I guess he was working or whatever. I don't know what he was doing. But he gets back in his truck, and he bags back into a little corner from the gas station, gas pumps. So I asked her, I was like, "Do you know him?" She said, "He's a regular customer. He seemed like a pretty nice guy." I said, "Okay, well, we leaving in the truck with him. And this is my name, and this is his name. And that's our car idea. Run our plates that we come up missing." Just a joke. But anyway, so after that, he was going to take us to our car to get the rental car.
Right, because that tow company said he didn't know when he was going to get to us.
Right, he didn't know when he was going to get to us. So then he was going to take us, and then after we get in the car with him, then that's when they called us and say, "Hey, we could be there in a few minutes." So then he turns around, take us back, and the tow driver, shout out to him, he was amazing. And guys, did I mention it was cold? When I say cold, I mean cold. I'm sorry, I put my hand in the camera. It was, my arm getting a little tired there.
Oh, well, you talking about your back on me?
Okay, it was cold. So The tow driver hooked our car up and everything, gave us a ride to the dealership. On the way there, we had an amazing conversation. He was very nice, very calm. Shout out to your little kids. Tell them Merry Christmas from the fisherman's wife and old Fishin Ed. So we gave him a towel as well. And you know we had to tip because that's what we do. So we get to the car dealership and they are very nice. They're nice enough to try to sell us a car.
You don't think this is gonna be too long? I gotta go ahead.
How do people interrupt a story? I don't understand. But anyway, so we got to the dealership, and the dealership, they was really nice to us. They asked us, they say, okay, your car is in the shop. We're not gonna be able to touch it till Monday. So what do you want us to do? What are you gonna do? You know, how are you gonna get where you need to go? And we said, well, do you have a shuttle? And this is really close to Christmas. Everything is closing down for the Christmas holidays. So their mechanics going home already, not coming back in until Monday. And so he said, we're gonna get you a ride to your rental car. And he even called, he said, where you getting the rental car from? We say Enterprise. And he said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to call over there to make sure everything is squared away with you all. When you get there, you're not going to have any problems. So he did just that. The guy took us to the rental place, and he said, I'm not going to leave you all until I make sure that you are going to get a rental car, that, you know, that is what's going to happen, because you may need a ride to another place. So he stayed there, and the guy confirmed, oh, we got them. They straight. We got their car already. So that's what we did. So guys, we end up with this. Let me show you what kind of car we end up with. We got a BMW, and they have this little gadget right here that is a map. And each time we pass by a lake, guys, when we pass by a lake, listen, when we pass by a lake, the lake come up right here. A picture of the water and the name of the water come right here. So we saw Orange Lake. We looked it up. And guys, it sounds amazing. The only problem is we 3 hours away from where we're supposed to be going. So we may just make a little 3-hour drive back down here one day, you know, on our vacation, to check that little pond out, because that sounds amazing. But guys, I just want to give a shout out to everybody who helped us, from the store clerks to the gentleman that was going to give us a ride, to the tow guy, who was very nice and didn't have to go beyond and above and beyond what he did, to the car dealership that went above and beyond what they helped us out. It was amazing. It could have been a damper in our trip, you know, but with the attitudes of the people that we ran into, made that bad situation a better situation, because we could have run into some really mean people and some really disrespectful people, but all of them was nice. And we was in Kentucky. And you know, Kentucky does not have the best name or reputation, but I can say Kentucky did us justice. They have some amazing people in Kentucky, and I just want to give them a shout out and tell them thank you. The old fisherman wife and old Fishin Ed, we are very impressed. And if you are ever in Seabree, Kentucky, stop by that station and tell Granny we said hi. So that story is long enough. We're gonna ask you all to have a Merry Christmas. That's what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And
we'll see you on the water.
Yes, we're gonna see you all on the water. You all are gonna see, hopefully, guys, can you believe it seems like every time we go on a trip, it seems like something happened just before we get there. Maybe a hurricane tear up some piers, or this weather right here. The hotel that we stayed at last night, Quality Inn, the lady was talking to us as we was eating breakfast, and she said that at Christmas time they're in short pants and t-shirts. And here it is right now, 32 degrees, right at freezing.
She said this is the coldest Christmas they have had in 30 years.
In 30 years. I said thank us. Thank us, because we brought this to you all. We did this for you. But anyway, we're going to get off here. We don't want the video to be too long. We don't want you to be bored. But we just thought we would tell you about our trip to Sarasota, Florida. And let me tell you the reason. The real reason we are visiting Sarasota, Florida is because Fishin Ed aunt passed away at the beginning of the year. It was like March, April, somewhere up in that May. She passed away. We went down to the funeral in Mississippi, and he got hold to an uncle, got him back in contact with an uncle that he hadn't seen since he was about 16 years old. Hadn't even talked to him, heard from him. And he promised him then. He said, for Christmas on my vacation, I'm going to come see you. And we had to fulfill on that promise. Because if Fishin Ed promised you something, it may take a while for him to do it. Ask Ken on Hook City. Ask him. We was down there a year and a half ago, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years ago, he promised him some smoked salmon, and he was not able to catch enough to send it to him. But this year in August, he did go salmon fishing and caught enough, had it smoked, put it on dry ice, had it overnight shipped to Ken. So if he promised you something, you're going to get it. It may take him a while until he can get it, but he's going to do it for you. But anyway, we're going to ask you all to have a Merry Christmas. We love each and every one of you all. We want to thank you all for for subscribing to our channel and supporting us the way you do. And we hope to bring you better and new and amazing content in the year of 2023. Bye. Peace.
Peace.
We're out of here, y'all.